Okay, so I'm doing this video basically to explain on the Signature grill, whether it be the island grill or the portable with the side burner table, or this one happens to be the one with the smoker. They all use the same firebox basically. I stuck a side burner table on it because that's what I had. This is just one we have sitting around just so that you can kind of see what's involved. And so I wanted to do this video just so people could understand and know how to do the burner tube replacements or electrode replacement. So that's what this video is in regards to. You would have to do that, you would need to pull this face panel forward. So I'm going to explain how to go about that and what the process is. So in order to pull this face panel loose, there's going to be 2 screws in the front here. So this grill, I've already removed the grates out of it and the flame tamer. Just basically lifted those out. Nothing has to be unbolted. You just pull those out. You got 2 screws here, and then you're going to have 2 screws on each end. Now, one of the screws you can get to right here. The other one is up behind the side table. So both side tables need to be removed. It's very easy. It's not difficult. These 2 screws here, you just need to loosen. You don't need to take those off, and that will help put the it'll help make it easier to reinstall it when you're done. These screws are the ones you're going to want to take loose, and those basically are what lock it into place. So you loosen the top 2, and then you pull these lowers out. Now you may have this 5th screw or not. I'm not really sure. But there could be a 5th one here that you need to remove, but these 2 stay. Once you do that, you lift up on the table and it slides right off of there, and then you set that aside. Same thing with the side burner table, and then you have access to this one and this one. Now remember, these ones you want to just leave in there loosely because it'll help you put the table back on. It'll hold it in place while you put the screws back. And so when it comes down to this, if you have the side burner, it's going to be the same exact scenario. This one doesn't have the gas pilot here to go into the tube because this is a side smoker. But normally you would have a port right here, which is going to be your gas port for this side burner. You don't need to disconnect or do anything with that. But you just need to do the same exact thing. You're going to pull these screws out, these lowers. You're going to loosen the top. I've already loosened the top just to make so the video doesn't take so long. But these 2 you want to loosen, and then this does the same thing. It lifts straight off of here. You're going to have an electrode wire. I should explain that. It's going to be plugged onto this thing. You just pop it off of there. You leave that wire hanging. This is not attached. It just slides off the port. And then you would take this table and you would lay that aside. So you don't need to pull the wire through for the electrode or anything. You just disconnect it off the electrode. Now you got these 2 screws exposed. At this point, you're going to remove these 2 screws here, and you're going to put those aside. I'm just going to lay them in there. I don't advise that on a normal grill that's full of grease because you'll lose them, but I'm just setting them there just because this is just for the video. You're going to pull these screws out. Now, this thing it's going to come forward with the valves and everything attached. There is no need to pull any of this stuff apart, okay? You're going to leave all that stuff together. The way this face panel is built, it's built with all the valves and everything assembled on it, on the table, and then it's installed. So what you're going to want to do is the gas valve, disconnect this from the propane tank. You can keep it connected to the manifold. There's going to be enough room for it to move. Once you take all those screws loose, this panel is going to move. I left 1 screw. Hold on. Getting ahead of myself here. Okay, so now all those are loose. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull this thing forward. When you pull this forward, you're going to notice all these things kind of drop because they are normally slid over these. Okay, now you're going to feel resistance because the manifold that goes to the propane tank is still attached. Don't worry about that. You're not removing this panel from the grill. All you're doing is giving yourself access. Now this one has a smoker, so it's a little more complex. It's got this line as well as this line connected to this valve. If you have the side burner, you're just going to have one of these threaded to the end of it. It's going to feel tight because it's going to be pulling through here. There's enough give in it where all you got to do is just pull it forward enough to have access. That's what you're looking for, just access to get to these wires. In regards to the igniter, when it comes down to the igniter, your igniter is right here in this corner. Now you have 2 wires that are going to go to the switch. That's the switch to basically hit the to ignite. Then you have all these 6 wires here. You have 5 of them for the burners. 1 of them is going to be for your either side burner or smoker. You can just go ahead and if you're doing all of them, just go ahead and unplug all of them. There is no order to those wires. The only ones that are important to keep separated are these 2 for the switch, and those go to here. And they are different than the others. They are larger, so you can't confuse them. Igniters, doesn't matter which terminal they go onto, they are all the same. So you unplug all those. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop them all off, because we're doing all of them. Now, if you're just doing one, you'll kind of have to hold on to it, tug on it, and see which one's what. If you're just doing 1 tube and 1 igniter. Once you do that, those wires, they just lay through here. Then you would take there's a hairpin clip that snaps onto here, this one. You slide that off. Now that your tubes are slid off your valves, you're just going to basically take that tube, pull this wire through, like that, pull the tube straight out. Just like that. Now you got it in hand. Now you can, if you're just changing the tube and keeping the igniter, you would take the screw loose, slide the igniter out of it, put it on the new tube, and then you're going to insert it the same way. What you're going to do is just straighten that wire up nice and straight. You're just going to kind of guide it, and what you're going to do is you're just going to guide it through and just find this little hole right there. And not that one, that's the gas valve. And let's see, where is it at? Hold on, I can't see. I don't have any light in there. But basically, let's see if we can do this. Okay, let's see. I got it straight, nice and straight here. And then you're gonna go through there. There you go. And just push it straight through. And then just guide that wire right through there till it goes right back through that hole. Right there, set it right into place. Now you don't want to put that pin in yet. You want split. You want to have space so you can slide these forward. Then you're going to run this wire back through and just drop it straight through that hole to be connected again. Now the reason why you want all these back like this as far as you can go is because it keeps them clear of the valves. Because when you put this panel back in, you're going to want this panel to go all the way up against there and not be binding up against this. Then what you're going to do is you're going to find that valve by moving it around, boom, and it slides right in. You cannot make a mistake on that. If it slides forward like this, it's in the valve. Then you can bring it back right there to the thing, and then you can basically push your pin right up through here. I'm going to put it in the top for now, just for the video, but you'd push it straight up through the bottom. That's it. Your electrode wire's hanging down there, ready to be connected, your tube's in place. I will explain something in regard to this screw right here. Now, this screw can be rusty and hard to get off. So for that reason, sometimes what you got to do is you got to put like a little bit of like a WD-40 or something to break, for the threads to break it loose. What I do is, obviously first try with a good Phillips screwdriver that fits it snug, that's not loose on it, and try to crack it loose. Don't push too hard because you don't want to strip it out. If it feels like it's going to strip and you can't get it loose, sometimes what I'll do is I'll take some pliers and I'll put it on here, and when you get the new tubes, you're going to get a new screw, so don't worry about that. And just get the screw to move, with some pliers, just to give it a little tug. As soon as you see it start to move, then let it be. Then take your screwdriver and then back it out. And then what that'll do is that'll break it loose without stripping the head. And then once you get it to move, then you'll be able to pull the screw out. But they do get rusty. It's stainless steel. Everything is stainless steel on this. But because there's a lot of heat involved and everything else, it's just inevitable. It just happens. They get rusty like that, and there's no avoiding it. So, it's just, you're talking about a grill that heats up to 800 degrees, and you got to figure out the tubes. It's pretty hot. So that's it for that. And then putting everything back together, it's just the reversal of that. And that's it. So these wires go back on the igniter, any which one. Like I said, it doesn't matter. The only ones that are important that you don't mix up are the switch ones, and those are bigger. So I just went through. This was never disconnected off the manifold, so once you're all done, you can put this back on. You're good to go. So that's the process there. This video was basically just, we still do sell a lot of parts for this grill. We don't manufacture it anymore, but we have a lot of people that love them and just still maintain them and keep them going. The good thing about this grill is it's not like a lot of the new ones that you buy. They're throwaway grills. These could be completely disassembled. You can even unbolt the firebox out of them. Most of the new grills are welded and riveted, so you can't take anything apart. Even though some of the pieces are riveted, those are panels that you do not need to separate. But this whole firebox can be unbolted out of the frame. Everything can be unbolted on this grill because it was designed as a grill that would last, that you could maintain and keep going. It's not one that you just throw away. So anyways, that's the video that I put out there. Hopefully this helps people get an understanding of what they're working with. I know it seems kind of scary pulling this loose and everything, but it's a simple grill really to work on. Thank you for watching.